Welcome back to the video, and in today's video we have a double or nothing predictions, one of AEW's best shows of the year, one of the classics from AEW, and this year we have a pretty fun card with a lot of banger matches.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of big matches on here that I'm excited to get into, so yeah, let's jump right into it.
We're going to start off with the Women's Owen Hart Cup Final, where we have Jamie Hayter taking on Mercedes Moné, and remember, the winner will have a world title shot at All In this year. Who do you got winning?
So I think somewhere on this card, obviously Toni Storm has a match defending her world title as well. So I am expecting one of Mercedes or Toni to lose here. So I am kind of torn on which one I think it'll be. However, I do have Mercedes winning here, so that might be a spoiler for that pick later on. But yeah, I do have Mercedes picking up the win here.
Yeah, this one is tough because I think Jamie Hayter winning this means more for her because obviously just returning last year at All In, now coming back facing Mercedes would be Mercedes' first big loss in AEW. So that would obviously be a huge milestone in that. But I don't think AEW is going to pass up the biggest women match they can possibly do right now at their biggest show. So I'm going to go with Mercedes Moné to get the win. She wins the Owen Hart tournament, and she will be facing the world champion, whoever that may be, at All In. Next up, we have the AEW World Tag Team Champions on the line, where the Hurt Syndicate take on the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, I do have the Hurt Syndicate winning here. Now that MJF is part of the Hurt Syndicate, I do expect him to have some kind of play or part in this match in some kind of way. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun match, probably a fairly quick one if I had to guess.
Yeah, this match, I don't expect too much to happen from this. I do maybe see MJF getting involved here. But yeah, I do think Hurt Syndicate get the win here. It's nice to see Dustin and Sammy get a PL or a pay-per-view match here. Obviously, Sammy has an interesting year the past few years, obviously going up and down, but hopefully after this we can kind of see him maybe a bit more consistently on TV because he is pretty good. But I do have Hurt Syndicate taking the win. Next up, though, we have the AEW Women's World Championship on the line, where Toni Storm takes on Mina Shirakawa. Who you got winning?
So as I mentioned, I do think Mercedes is going to win, and I do expect one to lose, so I am going with Toni losing. The only reason why I do think one should lose before going into All In is because if they are going to face each other, I wouldn't really want one of them to have both titles. I just don't really like that, especially for the AEW women, because I like it to be spread out a little bit more between multiple women rather than just have one just fully belted up. But yeah, I do have Toni Storm losing to Mina Shirakawa. She just got announced as officially signed to AEW, so why not give her the belt, see where that takes her, see how high she could get on the ranks of the fans. But yeah, I think this will be a very fun match, though.
Yeah, you spoiled your pick earlier. I spoiled mine as well. I am going to go with Toni Storm. Like I said, I don't think you pass up your biggest women's match at your biggest show. So Toni wins here. Could be a really fun match. The last time Mina and Toni faced off was a fairly good match last year. But yeah, I'm going to go with Toni. And hopefully maybe we see Mariah May interference. Obviously friends with Mina, enemies with Toni. So who knows what that could possibly be. But next up, we have another tag team match, and that is FTR takes on Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. He makes his return back to the ring. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nigel McGuinness, surprisingly, and Daniel Garcia to pick up the win here. I think, that'll just be a pretty cool moment for him to get something like that. But at the same time, Edge or Cope is kind of lurking around the corner as well, and he's going to be wanting some revenge on FTR at some point, so maybe we could get him coming back here at some point.
Yeah, this one, I'm going to go with FTR to get the win here. But because of that, I do also believe that Adam Copeland will be shown face here. Maybe after the match, FTR try to take out Nigel once and for all, end his career finally. But out comes Adam Copeland to make the big save. Obviously, that's how Adam Copeland got taken out by FTR. So him coming back for them. Obviously, we have All Out that is announced in Toronto. Who knows what could possibly see there? Maybe we finally get the ENC reunion back together, or we just get an Adam Copeland match in Canada. But this could be a pretty fun match. Obviously, Nigel, a bit older, but can still have a pretty fun match, I believe. Then next up, we have, I believe this might be the first of its kind in AEW, but we have Mark Briscoe taking on Ricochet in a stretcher match. Who do you got winning this one?
Yeah, I think this match could go a lot of different ways. We haven't seen a stretcher match not only in AEW, we haven't seen one just in general in a long time. So yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how this one will go out. Usually in stretcher matches, you have a big guy versus a small guy or some sort of that combination. But yeah, this time you just have two people who are just gonna go bouncing around the ring, and yeah, I'm very curious how this one will turn out for both of them. But I do have Ricochet picking up the win here. I think he's lost quite a bit recently, and I think it's about time he starts getting on that streak, picking up wins, maybe start leading towards a title shot at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ricochet as well. I agree that he kind of needs to win probably a little bit more than Mark Briscoe. I think it's about time that maybe Ricochet gets into some title pictures. Obviously, he had the thing with Kenny and Speedball at Revolution, I believe, or maybe the other one. But I do think that he can go back into titles and maybe reclaim or go and claim the Continental Champion or maybe even the TNT. But should be a pretty fun match. These two are always really fun to watch. And then next up, we have the big one, the Anarchy in the Arena returns, but this time it is 6v6 and intergender. So on the babyface side, we have Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata, who take on Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta, and the Young Bucks. We obviously had Gabe Kidd, who showed face the past few weeks, but he is not in the match just yet, so we might get a 7th member added to both teams. But for now, we have the 6v6. What are you going with, though?
Yeah, I mean, I expect a lot of chaos to come out. Maybe we don't need him added in as an official person because he could just come out anyway. It's Anarchy in the Arena, and then that'll leave room for someone else on the other side to come out and help them, of course. Yeah, I think it'll be a very crazy match. We've seen in the past people get set on fire. We've seen glass, thumbtacks, people hung upside down by their feet. So yeah, we've seen a whole lot of crazy things happen in these matches. I'm expecting nonetheless in this one as well. But I do have probably, I'm gonna go the Death Riders and the Bucks, the heel team, to win here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the babyface teams because I do feel like this is going to start the decline of Death Riders, the Young Bucks, the Elite, the EVPs, and we kind of finally get the big babyface win to kind of save AEW. But it should be a pretty fun match. Obviously, Anarchy in the Arena will just be complete chaos. Probably super hard to follow along. They'll probably do multi-camera shots. So hopefully, it's pretty well kept, recorded at least wise. But yeah, it should be a really fun match. And hopefully we get the big babyface win.
Yeah, and potential for a Thekla to show up for either side. Maybe she comes back as a face for the baby faces and Willow, or maybe she comes out to be part of Marina Shafir's part of it. But yeah, I think she has a higher potential of showing up here because I think the women's division could use that new kind of spice to spice it up at the top of the division.
No. And then next up, we have the Continental Championship on the line where Kazuchika Okada takes on Speedball Mike Bailey. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, I just have Okada winning, of course. I mean, I think it's going to be Kenny Omega and Okada going forward to All In. And, I just don't see Speedball win. I don't think it's his time quite yet. But give him a little bit more time, and I think he'll be right back in this Continental picture. Because I think this title's kind of made for Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah, I am going to go with Speedball Mike Bailey to get the win here. Obviously, we haven't had a title change, I believe, without the tournament happening. So Speedball winning it without the tournament would be pretty cool. Because I do think, although that Okada and Kenny is the ultimate goal at All In, Kenny still has an international title around his waist, so although we haven't seen it too much, he still has it, so I think that will probably be the title match between those two. But Speedball hasn't been pinned yet in AEW since his debut, so he's on a bit of a hot streak, and I think he continues it on the night.
Okay.
And then our main event of the evening, the Men's Owen Hart Cup Final, Hangman Adam Page, Will Ospreay. The winner goes to All In to face Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a huge match with huge implications, being able to main event All In Texas. It's going to be a very fun and crazy match. This match has been built pretty good, I would say, from the ground up here. We've seen Hangman go from this crazy kind of psychopath man versus Swerve all the way to the point of where he's at now, where he's not necessarily a babyface, but the crowd reacts to him as if he is. And I think this is the highest point of Hangman Adam Page that maybe we'll ever see. So I think if you pull the trigger on him right now and give him this all-in victory and let him go on to win the world title, I think you'll come out with another star on the level of your Ospreys and Swerves and everyone else. So I'd say give Adam Page the big win here.
Yeah, this one, the promo they cut this on the Go Home show of Dynamite, it was really good. I love the Hangman and Ospreay interactions where they said, we both need it. I want you to win, but I still need this one a little bit more. So this one is really tough, but I do agree. I do want Hangman Adam Page to do it. I love him being, the guy to save AEW once again and to hold that championship because even in his promo, like I mentioned, he says, these past 2 years, I feel like a waste. I've done nothing. I've done things I wish I never have done. So I think him winning here is a big, character development for him. Finally turns him probably babyface, assuming that, he shakes Will's hand after, or, they have some type of friendship after the match. So yeah, this match, I'm expecting something amazing between these two. The first time I believe we're getting this match, so this is obviously a dream match for some, and probably will be, some type of 7-star classic.
Yeah, I think this match is going to be absolutely crazy. I have very high expectations on this match, of course.